you guys. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just gonna say I can post those example drawings to the final assignment so that you can see those. I'm not gonna do like really detailed drawing right now just because I really want to give you guys some work time. But I just want to show you how I would approach it. So when I'm looking at my house in Tinkercad, I see that this wall right here is pretty dark. This wall right here is my lightest shade. And then right inside these windows, I have a little bit of darkness. So I'm just gonna ignore this door that I drew. So think I want to do some cross hatching for this side of my building because I see that it's pretty dark. So you can choose to do this with a ruler if you want your lines to be really straight and perfect. I'm gonna go freehand because I don't mind if they're a little bit wiggly wobbly. So I'll just start doing some cross hatching. And I am really trying to pay attention to the value that I see in Tinkercad and replicate that value in my drawing. And you might find it helpful to actually take your value scale that we made yesterday, hold it up to your thing, hold it up to your computer screen in Tinkercad and see which of those value squares does your space most look like? Like specifically maybe this side of the wall. If I'm looking at my Tinkercad, I want to hold my value scale up to that wall and think, which one of these squares does this most look like? And sometimes I had a teacher that always told me this. Sometimes you have to like relax your eyes. That's what he would say. And basically what it is like kind of like squinting and blurring your vision a little bit. And it actually does help you decipher value similarities. Weird little trick. So then I'll just keep going through and adding my hatching lines. Now, you can do hatching in any direction that you want. If you wanted to follow the perspective lines, you could do that too. So if I wanted to follow my orthogonals with my hatching marks, you can do that. When I'm drawing, I like to start with my darkest darks and work my way up to my lightest lights. Wait, what? How would you tell? How would you tell what, Lillian? What exactly are you referring to?
Where your darkest darks are?
She put that in the chat before I said that. You said hold up the value thing. Yeah, hold up that value scale that we made in class yesterday. I wish I could show you like myself doing it, but I would need a whole nother camera to do that. So you would just like literally take your value scale. So like, let's just say that this piece of paper right here, that's my house in Tinkercad and I'm looking at the 3D model. I take my value scale and you can even just, let me take it out of my notebook. You can even just kind of like, bend back that text. Hold your value scale right up to that on your computer screen and think which one of these values is closest to the value that I'm seeing on Tinkercad. And then you can kind of mimic that. And you can do it with whatever kind of hatching that you want. That way you know exactly how it felt to make those hatch marks on your value scale and you can kind of replicate that on your actual drawing. So here, if I'm looking at it, and this is my house in Tinkercad. This is not a drawing. This is my house in Tinkercad. I'm holding my value scale up to it and I think, oh, that's that medium hatching value. So this is what I'm gonna do on my paper. Hopefully that clarified that a little bit. I wish I had like a classroom and a computer that I could actually show you that in real life, but
I get it.
Virtual learning.
Yeah. And you guys, just to interject here, it might be a good idea to practice, like, just kind of loosen yourself up and like on a piece of copy paper off to the side before you get into like, don't like, instead of going straight for it.
Yeah.
Just
And you should all have those original drawings still, unless you threw them out. Some of you might have threw them away, but the original drawing that you did on like the bad paper, like your sketch paper that you made your OG drawing before you transferred it. If you still have that, that's a good way to practice because that is your exact drawing. So, and you can do different kinds of hatching in different places. So I did some cross hatching there. How would you add values to cylinder? They're the exact same way. I'll draw a cylinder then. So say I wanted to add some value to the inside of my windows, but I just want it to be like single little hatch marks. I could do that. Because again, I'm looking back at my Tinkercad house and doing that. So some of you have cylinders, some of you have trees. Let's draw a cylinder down here. I guess I should finish out that one. So say you have a cylinder. You have two options, really. You can just hatch normally with straight lines or whatever, diagonal lines. Same thing. Or you can choose to drawing all these cylinders. You can choose to make lines that follow the, my Sharpies are like rolling over and attacking me. You can choose to make lines that follow the contour of the shape. So you can make these little curved lines like this. So that is really just a matter of personal preference. And it's the same thing for whatever kind of object that you're drawing. You're looking at your Tinkercad and seeing where the shadows are, because that's giving you a really good light source to start with. So yeah, you can do hatching really, really however you want. So it can be, and you don't even have to use lines. So for some of you that have trees, let me get to a different spot. I'm gonna draw like a really just rough tree shape here. Whoops, my Sharpie wants to work. Woo, that's a really bad tree shape. Your tree shapes are gonna look better than that. So say you have some tree shapes and you want to shade, but you want to kind of make it look like the texture of leaves. I can shade and do hatching with little triangles or something like that. That'll look like leaves.
That's a great cylinder.
What?
I like your cylinder shading.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Getting lots of requests on more abstract shapes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's where you get your like sort of loosey-goosey stuff. Right? Try
So yeah, so you can like shade with texture. If your tree is a circle, it's, you know, the thing about hatching is that you can do whatever you want. It can be these traditional kind of lines. It can be these lines that follow the contour of the shape. It can be textural little marks that are kind of like fun shapes. It can be anything. So if your tree was a circle, like you mean you kind of did something like one of these type of shapes. Yeah. And then you have your like trunk coming out. So yeah, that can be like, say you want to like shade it with circles, you could do that. You want to shade it with multiple things. You want to shade it with circles and hatching lines.
do something like this too.
Yeah.
Just concentric circles look good. Just make them denser and smaller where it's darker, and looser and bigger where it's lighter. That's a really fun way to do it. Builds up real fast. I like the mushroom shape too.
Lots and lots of options here. Does anyone else have another shape that they want to see really quick? Got lots of hatching going on. How do you shade over glass? That's a
Oh,
really good question. So let's just do that because I have these windows here. So right now I did like the dark darks of my windows. So say I wanted to create the illusion that it was actually glass over top of this. I think the best way to do this is have marks that are going in different directions. So these shadows are meant to be showing that interior edge of the window, like kind of the window frame that's inside the house. If I wanted to show that this has another surface on top of that, I think I would make my marks going in the other direction, kind of just like that. Because windows aren't going to have like a lot of darkness to them, but if you just want to allude to the fact that they're there, that can be like a nice way to do that. A wave. Oh, wave. Drew, your waves can be really fun. Like if I was trying a wave.
you know what would be good for a wave? Look at a Hokusai's Great Wave. That was a print, right? So that's all line work. You know who I'm talking
Prints are really good to look at for line work.
Cone.
Hatching for a cone. Cone and cylinder, exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same concept. And I just want to reiterate, like, go back to those freeform hatching. Like, you can do really fun shapes for your shading, and you can even kind of overlap stuff. So, say like this side of my building has really light values. Say I just wanted to like decorate that with some cool shapes to like show a little bit of shading. Like, maybe I want to make some, I don't know, let's just like make some circles. Like, say I just want to show like a little bit of value with some circles. Like, you can do really fun shapes for shading too.
It almost becomes like a pattern study, which I like.
Like, it can be decorative because there's going to be parts of your drawing that don't really have dark values on it. And you can take advantage of that to kind of decorate. And it's also a fun way to distinguish different objects. Like, what is the texture of your tree? What is the texture of your building? What is the texture of your chair or sidewalk? And those can be different types of hatching marks. I think you can have a lot of fun with it. I think if you still have your original drawing, you should definitely practice with it. If you don't have your original drawing, just like make one of these basic rectangles like I have here and practice on that. Kind of get a feel for it. Anyone else want to say anything? Do a star, like just draw a star. I can't draw a star without putting the lines through it. I could try. Oh, turns out I can. I think I've gotten better at drawing in the past few years. If you don't have a fine point Sharpie, would a black colored pencil work? Yes, it would. Or a black pen would also work. A lot of you might have like a plain black pen that would achieve the same effects.
Some black pens are better than others, though. So something that's got like a pilot would be really good if you had a pilot pen as opposed to a ballpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But try it. If it looks good, use it, right? And if it doesn't, then
yeah, your black Sharpie will work black Sharpie, your black colored pencil, but keep it nice and sharp. Get like a nice sharp point on that colored pencil. Otherwise, it'll get a little grainy. do a pilot friction. Don't use a pilot friction. Oh, okay. I don't know what kind of brand that is, but we will
Neither.
take your word for it, Samantha. Oh, the erase. Oh, yeah, I love erasable pens. Okay, I think it's safe to stop this recording.